Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the two topics. First, file system structure, and second one is the directory implementation. So before going to see about your file system structure, so first the previous topics, so what are the things we discussed means, so how the file system providing for the online storages, and as well as how we can able to access our file content including your data and programs. So those things we discussed. And file system resides and permanently on your secondary storage, which is designed to hold our large amount of data permanently. So the main objective is to describe your detailed implementing of your local file system and directory implementation. And first one, file system structure. So here, the disk is providing the most of secondary storages on the file system, which maintained. So here, the two characteristics make them the convenient for this purpose. The first one is the disk can be rewritten in place. So what is a rewritten in the sense? So we can read a block from the disk and write it back into the same place. That is nothing but rewritten. And second characteristics, the disk can access directly any block of the information that contains. So simple to access of any file. So either it may be in a sequential manner, random, or switching from one file to another file also. So this one is the second characteristics of your file system. And file system have to provide a efficient and as well as a convenient access to the disk, so by allowing your data to store and located and retrieved easily. So two main design problems we are facing under the file system. And first one is how the file should look to the user. That is the first one. And second, so creating the algorithm and data structures to map the logical file system to physical secondary storage system. So we have to map the logical file system to physical secondary storages. So for this mapping, so which algorithm we have to create it and which data structure we have to use. These two things are the main design problem of your file system. So generally, the file system itself composed of the many different levels. So that is called as a layered structure. So now we are going to see about this each and every level of your layered structure. So this is the diagram of your layered structure. In first one is application programs, logical file system, file organization module, basic file system, IO control and devices. So top to bottom it describes. Now we are going to see about the one by one. The first one is the IO controls. So IO control, it consists of the device drivers and interrupt handlers. So this one is used to transfer the information between the main memory and your disk system. And second one, the basic file system. So it needs only to issue the generic commands to the appropriate device drivers. So that which one having in a IO control. So it's sending the generic commands. For what purpose is sending the generic command in the sense? To read and write your physical blocks on the disk. So how we can be able to read and write physical blocks in the sense? So each and every physical block is identified by its numeric disk address. So what is the numeric disk address in the sense? So it is the example. So drive 1, cylinder 73 and track number 2 and sector number 10. So this is called as the numeric disk address. So each and every physical blocks identified by the numeric disk address. Based on that, it generates the generic commands to the appropriate device driver. And also, the basic file system manage the memory buffer and caches. What is memory buffer in the sense? It holds some various file system, directory and data block. So when the buffer is full, so the buffer manager must find the more buffer memory, or otherwise we have to free up our buffer space This is the memory buffer. Then caches. So caches used to hold the frequently and file system metadata. So frequently used files as well as the it holds in the metadata. So why it is holding these two things in the sense to improve our performance. What are all the files we are using frequently that we can maintain under the caches as well as the metadata of that file system. And third one is file organization model. So it contains the about files and logical blocks and physical blocks. It knows about the files, logical block as well as your physical blocks. So this model can translate the logical block address into the physical block address. So for this translation, we needed. So the physical blocks containing the data usually does not match with your logical numbers. So this translation we need for the each and every block. So this model also includes the free space manager. So why we need the free space manager in the sense? So always the free space manager tracking the unallocated blocks. So what are all the blocks are unallocated? We are just tracking that, and it provides those blocks to the file organization model whenever the request they made. So that time it uses the unallocated blocks. So these are all the jobs for the file organization model. And then next one, logical file system. So logical file system managing the metadata information. So what is it metadata information in the sense that includes all of the file system structures except your actual data. Actual data in the sense it's your content. For example, if we have a file, so what is the metadata in the sense? File name, size of the files, when it is created, where it is located. So these are the information is called as a metadata. And actual data in the sense the content of your file. So if you have a 10 pages of a content, that is your actual data. Metadata in the sense information about your file. That is nothing but metadata. So it maintains a file structures so via FCB blocks. So the logical file system maintaining the file structure using FCB block. What is FCB in the sense? File control block. So file control block contains the information about the file, that is including the ownership, permission and location of the file content. So these are all the information contained under the FCB. And logical file system is also responsible for the file protection also. So if you take on the layered structure file, it minimizing the duplication of your code. So overall, if you are seeing in the sense, it reducing the code, or it is minimizing the duplication of code. So how it is reducing or how it is minimizing the duplication of code in the sense? The first level, IO control and basic file system code. So these two things can be used by the multiple file systems. So we can able to reuse it of this codes. And third and fourth level, that is file organization model and logical file system. So these two things, each file system have own logical file system as well as the file organization models. So unfortunately, so the layered approach is decreasing our performance. So why it is decreasing our performance level in the sense? We are facing the two challenges. What is that means? How many layers we have to use it. So for designing, while in designing the new system, we have to choose how many layers we have to use it and each layer what it should do. So we have to maintain these two things. So it is obviously it's overall it reducing the our performance level. And then this is your structure of your file system. And then next one is the directory implementation. So directory implementation, why we are going the directory implementation in the sense? The selection of directory allocation and directory management algorithm, it significantly affect the efficiency, performance, and reliability of our file system. So we have to maintain the directory implementation in a very careful manner. Okay, since it is based on, it's affecting our efficiency and performance and reliability of our file system. So the directories need to be a fast search as well as the insertion and deletion with a minimum amount of wasted of your disk space. So for this, so the two data structures we are seeing using for the directory implementation, and first one is the linear list. So the linear list, so we know very well, if we already studied this linear list search under your data structure topic. So the name itself is the linear list, in the sense one by one we are checking linear search. The searching is going to be happen one by one, starting from initial to ending. So obviously it is a very simplest method and easier directory structures too. Okay, but it containing the so many drawbacks. So first one is the time consumed to execute. So if you want to create a file, first we have to search the directory. No such file must be existing already. So when we have to confirm that, then only we can able to create a new entry, and the new entry is going to be added at the end of your directory. If you're taking the deletion of the file, the search, first we have to search the file and then only we can able to delete it or otherwise remove it. If your list is a sorted order, then it's our work is very simple. So we can allow the binary search. So binary search, what we will do is it can apply only for the sorted list. So we can find the middle number, then we can compare with the number with the middle, whether it is a less than or greater than. If it is a less than, we are just moving towards the leftwards. If it is a greater, then we can move it in the rightwards. So likewise, the half of the searching is nearly going to be reduced. So the searching times are decreasing our average searching time. The second method is the hash table using the hashing method. So the another data structures we are using for the file directory. So that is using hashing method. So hash table is also used to speed up our search. So how, in the sense, the value is computed for the each and every file and returns a pointer to the file name that is stored in a linear list. So this also reducing the searching time. And here the insertion and deletion is also very easy compared with your linear list. But what are all the difficulties there in your hashing table, in the sense? Generally, it's a fixed size. It depends on the hash function, the size is going to be fixed. For example, the linear probability hashing. The hashing method also we already studied, so I don't want to explain much. So linear probability hashing. So the entry, the total is 64 entries in the sense. So starting from 0 to 63, the list is going to be maintained. So later, if you want to try it with the 65th file, so that time we must enlarge our directory of the hash table, or otherwise we have to extend some functions or for the same values. So this is a drawback of our hashing method. And another one is the collision problem. So collision is nothing but the existing has the file function value the same as the new value. So both the file having the same hash value, that is nothing but collision. So how we can able to avoid the collision means the collision probing method. So many methods is there. So based on the linked chain, through that also we can able to avoid it. So but these are all the two problems. So one is the generally the fixed size, and second one is the collision is having the problem. But compare with the linear and hash table is giving the better performance for the directory implementation. Thank you.